Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with a Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean, simply smarter banking.
Happy Saturday. Welcome to Sports Mandela. As usual, we start with quote. Focus on the outcome, not the obstacle. Good morning, Teddy. How are you doing?
Hey man, pretty good. Could be better, but pretty good. I'm here to celebrate the life of my good friend. Therefore, Big Brother. It's just a big, so yeah, long name, Big Brother. Therefore, that's my part of the bigs. That's what they call it, bigs are bigs big, that kind of stuff. So and he called me big player again. The big player come from the top now, so yeah, some big player work out. I can tell you domino part of the party and so on. But people play domino party, play pool party, play bridge. So he's not no other guy, you know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't know that.
Right.
But very smart guy. We had to celebrate his life. But before that, we have somebody here to talk a little about a basketball tournament that's coming up. I had a 3-3.
Right.
You remember good old days, the good old young days at the academy.
Right.
My partner Tuku and me and Beckett, we saw a 3-3 team from overs, and the team was called the team Cool on the Gang. I'm sure Tuku might watch it now, he did cool.
Oh, okay.
The gang, So when they went 3-3, I said, hey, that's my good old days. And
Right.
the people used to play,
3-3.
Yeah, man, he had his favorite jump shot. He used to play on a team named Waves.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to play basketball on a team named Waves, man. So as a matter of fact, he used to play pan, he used to play pan for Oakwood for zero. I don't know how to fella, but hey, we don't hear the talk about me. I tell you, we hear the talk about basketball and Big Brother. So, the Joe's a good friend here. He's my very good friend, boy. Why do you want some good friend? He come here and cuss me off every day. This guy is a good friend. But still, friends cuss me off. My friends are the people who cuss me off. They can't friend me off. So, it introduces this jokey fellow here.
I'm not too sure what joking, man, but I know you're interested in Antigua and Barbados, and tell us about your...
Well, good morning, Tally. Morning, Tally. Morning, Tally. My very good friend, Tally.
Right.
Good morning,
What's
Earl.
up, Earl? Yeah.
Okay, I see you around the place, but I don't know you. So
Right,
from
right.
today, we're now part of the street. Good morning, our listening audience. My name is Tahambi Smith, and I'm here to represent the Fearless Crew Organization, basketball club, basketball team, Fearless for Life. And we're putting on a change competition this weekend coming up on the 7th of January down at Blackburn Park, and it's an open category. We're not having a juniors or seniors. It's come as you may, come strong or don't come at all. And as Taddy was saying back in the leaves to play 3 and 3, you can't play now, but you can sponsor a team round up somebody from somewhere, come in and have yourself represented.
I was tell Father Beckett and Dr. Mansell, Judge. We played with team over the boys and won the championship down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you see, that's good. That's good that you won the championship, so you're familiar with the area.
Yeah.
So the sponsor and team are coming. It's just $100 to register, and registration is ongoing. You can contact myself, Tahambi Smith, at 723-3724, or Sean Lee at 782-9903. And this all goes down Sunday, Blackburn Park, from 3 p.m. until.
But I see registration finished at the 5th, the last.
Well, the reason why we have a deadline for registration is so that we can fill the slots, know how many teams we have and so forth. Can Antigua people talk?
Right.
If you never tell them a deadline,
Right.
up to the time game for start, then they come and tell them register and team now and they want to get in action.
Right.
So it's just about organizing and organizing well.
Right.
So at least you can start on a time and
Right.
everybody enjoy themselves.
What about prize monies?
Wow. Prize money is definitely, yeah. The prize to have is $1,000 to the winning team.
Right.
And that will be paid on the spot, so it's not like you have to call me later down or find me later in the week like Taddy sometimes, you know. I'm going to disappear. But you know how that is.
Right.
But yeah, and it has been good because we've been able to garner support and continue support from many corporate sponsors that has been with us from the very onset. So once we decided we want to do something, because it's not just about basketball, we also do a bike-a-thon,
Right.
where we decide to go to some destination, riding bikes, casual ride, enjoy ourselves, and then also in terms of food now, we try to promote healthy eating. So we have a ITIL extravaganza, open to ITIL food, and we're looking to maybe include some seafood, some fish maybe also, because not everybody totally vegan or totally into the ITIL. So, and we don't really want to have like chicken and all that. You get that, Emily?
Right.
So those are three projects that we spearhead annually. So we're looking for a second rendition of the 3-on-3 tournament, and later on will be the extravaganza, and you'll hear more about that.
So last year was the first time you had it?
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
take you over something. Two things I want to take you right now. You played the Blackbird.
Yeah.
In my days, you played the school where you can pay to go in and so on. So for Blackbird, until the sports guy, the Blackbird Park never any anymore.
No, man,
That's the
that.
first thing. Next thing. One is I tell so no pork season, you know. Even though I don't eat it.
You see what me talk about? The advocates, look, they have a whole season for eating pork and swine and chicken and ham and everything, and that's fine. But come on, you know, little ITIL is vital.
I like that.
You know?
Vital.
And also, the notion of Blackburn, well, Blackburn has undergone change because I think my team was the last basically team surviving from the great era. So you know, the ballers and the skill there and all that and so forth. So Fearless was basically the last. From ballers, basically the very last. And for years we antagonized, have our court refurbished and have it set up. So it was done, I think back in 2014, when the administration changed there, they spread that. And so we had a beautiful playing surface. The football field was immaculate, but then progress and development basically forced to have a clinic developed in the area and so forth. But the field is still there, needs some work, but the basketball court is untouched, well lit, and that's what we had a tournament last year, and we had a great tournament.
I got to hear that, man. We have the guy in the
But-
field and the basketball team long time ago.
Not just basketball, but in sports in general. Sports in general. So because when growing up, I remember in the park, you used to see simultaneously cricket being practiced, football being practiced, and then basketball being done further on. And before my time, even netball
Yeah.
and tennis. But now you're seeing that resurgence. But netball not so much because
Okay,
I-
that's what.
I think it is maybe not pushing it as hard as you should. And the person I would interest with that may have left the area or so forth. Because
Only is to
but then she has so many other things. So I don't know if it's that you not concentrating on that area, but you're putting yourself in another area where more interest is there.
But you find the youngsters sports inclined to basketball, football, netball, and sports the youngsters in the
Well, fortunately, we have a lot of interest in sports in our area because you will see guys playing football, still trying to play basketball, but then if you don't have the proper facilities, and even when you do have proper facilities, without proper maintenance or even proper supervision of the facilities, the same kids that are today playing, the same ones will turn up and try to destroy and disrupt. So, hey, you have to just be interested and keep that fire.
But tell me something, the name Fearless School. Isn't that you want people to fear you or because
Actually, it was about fearing no one. No obstacle, no situation, because our mentor, Donald Tonelson, he's not in Antigua anymore, but yeah, he was very instrumental in giving us guidance because we were wayward, per se, without knowing what you know when you're young. When you're old, you know, you can appreciate certain things and so forth. So he said that we needed guidance, and we used to line together any which way. So having a name basically gave you something to kind of hold on to. And we were brothers, band of brothers any which way, so went to school together. So eventually we just morphed into a basketball team. We started playing back in 99, I believe. And the name Fearless came about back in 98. So you can see the longevity in having a name. It's not about being afraid, but it's just being unafraid.
And what division you guys play?
Well, we played third division for many moons. Eventually won. Yeah. Well, Tiny may tell you. Well, anyway, yeah, we were, but eventually we got our act together by bringing in the right people, the right personnel, realizing that you have to step aside sometimes to bring up the talents. And we won our third division just before COVID. We were spanking people in second, and then COVID came and really derailed that. And last year we started out cold. Last 3 quick games, and that really hurt us in the end because we came undefeated at the end of it, but we already lost 3 early games, so we didn't get promoted to first division. But our bang people, man.
So tell me something, you players from outside the community or within the community?
Within the community first and foremost, but then if you don't have the interest, because some people, many times, we falter by trying to force the issue.
Right.
If you're not committed to the cause, it don't make no sense to try to be a part of it because you're not committed. Right. So, not because you're from the area, you have a slot slated for you. So yes, we recruit outside the area, and we have players from all over. We have a guy that's deaf that plays with us. We have a European that plays with us. We have people from all over the communities. Yeah, man, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
So tell us something though, in terms of this competition, what your objective to achieve this competition?
It's just to bring back it basically coincides with the opening of the season.
Right.
The season will be opening, I think, the 21st of January or later down in January. So it's just to build, towards the season and the basketball, because not just like T20 did for cricket, in terms of not everyone sit down for a test, our whole 60 overs. You need something to keep the excitement going, and sometimes and so forth. Shorten forms of this sport give that excitement. Training competitions are quite exciting.
So well practice, wait team practice, don't build a
Yeah, don't build a light and everything, don't they?
So when you play so much, you don't need instead of clear.
No, see, the way we don't have the total facilities at this point in time to accommodate matches, because you will need, there's a community center with bathrooms, but it's way above, so you have to try to cross the field to go to the bathroom in the case, and seating areas is also very important. So you can't be inviting people to a venue and don't really have seats for them to sit down and relax. Study, you can't turn up all day again no more.
See, I have a problem with that, I tell you why. When basketball was really basketball, hardly the players got any seating and that and stuff. But I know I get so sophisticated that I want seating, I want this thing.
No, Taddy, if that was the case, we wouldn't have had the tournament last year. We understand that there is need because not everyone can come and stand up whole day every day. And also, it makes no sense for you. It also makes no sense for you to do a facility like that and not include seating. It just don't make any sense. But such is life.
you got it different way.
It's not done different way. It's reality, because at the end of the day, the planners and organizers of the area that we appreciate so much because we needed it, I guess they figured out we at a later time.
But tell me something, for somebody like me who don't understand the 3 and 3 basketball, how long the game lasts?
Well, it's going to be a running clock scenario, and we'll follow the FIBA rules. They're different to the NBA rules and so forth. Right. So basically, you have to take the ball out. You can't just take a is in defensive rebounds can be, you have to take it out and play it over and so forth. So we will be following the FIBA guidelines, and you can follow those online and see exactly what it is. Because FIBA training will be a part of the Olympics coming up.
Right.
So it's a great thing, and it's a big thing, and there's an actual structure to it that you can follow, and it's not difficult to follow. Running clock meaning the clock never stops until I think close down to the end of the game. So time
How many minutes in the game?
12 minutes. 12 or 10 minutes.
I have some more things about back to see.
No man, for see, that's all we talk about, man. That is safe, man. Yeah.
So 12 minutes, you know, the break,
12
and a
minutes.
half, there's one.
Just run right through.
Okay.
Run right. So you can have simultaneous games going on both sides of the court in terms of the numbers of teams that are registered.
Okay, fair enough. So look, we have to get to the soon, shortly, because our guests are here. But I still got to hear my good friend.
Tell me what your sponsors. Because he has some sponsors.
It's a list of them, and I'm thinking about asking him a good friend, Mr. Charles Arce, you know?
Because he have hand mode
Yes.
and stuff.
No, some of these sponsors were from the very onset of us resurging into basketball about 3 years, just about 2019, I think. And so we kindled our team and everything. So, Sister Soldiers graphic design, you can see our flyer. The flyer is happening.
Yeah.
Big up to Sister
So
Soldiers.
anyway, players will put them on the screen.
You see, the organizers, it wasn't me organizing this. If I was organizing Tally, I'd have brought you all kinds of things. I'd brought you a t-shirt to branding and all that, but you know, next time, Tally. Hardy Motors Limited, Ramco Pharmacy, Bailey Supermarket, Andrews Wholesale, Claire's Grills, Charlie's Bottling, Robertson Company, Shams Plus Liquor, Health First Pharmacy, now big up to Health First Pharmacy, Caribbean Pharmaceutical Supplies, they've been with us from the onset, Able Chiropractic and Wellness Center, now this lady now can fix you back when you don't play train in your field.
Yeah.
Like you need
So
to
can
be.
you check?
Tell you have a check, she can tell you had a bad hip and a bad hip. You know? And ICU Enterprises and Jan Surf.
I just want you to go flat the middle, man.
No, man, no. When they want to save the best of that because of sponsorship, but Villa runs supreme in everything.
But they want to give us something. Okay, he says some shop or some liquor or something.
Yeah, Shampoo Plus.
So you sell that in the healthy business, healthy food.
It's not about healthy food. I can't tell sponsors what to sell or what to produce to the market. You go buy where you want.
He said healthy, they will have this weekend.
What you tell me about pork season, Daddy? Come on, man.
So tell me something in terms of any hype superstars who play from basketball down there.
Well, yeah, definitely we are attracting interest from.
Some big names.
You remember I make me old now.
What?
I mean, no, but seriously,
Yeah, big
like
names,
Dragon and
yeah.
so forth. The young, that guy. Look, I remember all the name. I don't want to call my name wrong, but trust me, Fearless Entry has garnered support from the basketball fraternity in terms of players from every
So yeah, that's
first, second, third, old-time people. Everybody want to take part in the Fearless. So.
Okay. Because we have our friend Byron Elite. One of the Elite.
Byron definitely funny. They want to participate because they just had a tournament about 2 weeks ago and we participated in that one. But it was more geared for young people,
Right.
under 18, under 17, and under 15 also. So that was more geared. My tournament, our tournament, I should say, is geared more for anybody, everybody.
Look, Joe may come in next week. He make the team.
If Job wants to come and make the team, that's up to Job.
All right, you know.
Not because he come from the, you have to make the team. I'm going to tell you that already.
Well, just as we look to wrap up, as Tony said, we have some other guests waiting, so as we look to wrap up.
And also, but Tony, but here, you know, myself, you don't have to come and play 3-3. There's a 3-point shootout also. And the winner that gets some brand new basketball. $15 to register for that one day. You can't chop on ball?
No.
Well, Tony,
See, guess what? Me over there, you know.
your vice wouldn't tell me this because you love a big fight with me. You must forget your all. But I love you.
A small more wing to the public. Yeah.
So, the 7th of January, we come down to Blackburn Park. That's down in Villa, Bay Street. Well, if you know the area, clinic, the new clinic and the new community center. Down in Villa again, we have a tournament, a 3-inch tournament, 3 p.m.
More lucky for us.
Who?
Nobody can walk on Bay Street and go too bad.
You have to talk to him. You see, no, he gone somewhere now that have nothing to do with basketball. But that's the truth. That's the truth.
Take a Bay Street, take down the road. Because Central Street and come down.
Big man, they don't have that now. So you tell people come in the villa and spin now.
Central Street.
I'll keep it simple, people. If you're not familiar with KFC 4th Road, you turn on into Villa from Percival gas station, come down to the Villa, you make the first left turn. Come to the end of the road, that's Garden Street, how many streets are named in Villa.
Yeah.
And then you turn onto Reginald Stephen Boulevard, then you make an immediate left onto Blackburn North. And then on Blackburn North, you follow Blackburn North down onto the playing field, and you can't miss the basketball court.
Like, simply when you come from the school, Central Street.
When you say Bay Street bad, you I'm realizing you tally.
Central Street.
Your hearing will go bad.
Central Street and Bay Street.
Your hearing will go bad.
You, not me. Central Street, Bay Street, is one down below. You don't want that. If you drive with that, you walk with that, you match everything.
Just come to Villa, people. Me not buy the tally on something right now.
Keep on shoot out this
Yeah,
$15
$15 per person to register up to the point of the competition. They don't have to register free.
And when you new band basketball.
New band basketball.
And when you
$15.
300 get $1,000.
The team get $1,000 on the spot.
On the spot. Cash
When
money.
I win, cash money, not no check.
Okay.
Well, if it was a check, ACD would have been okay, but no, it's cash. It's cash.
All right. Well, we wish you all the best in your tournament coming up.
You guys, thanks for having me.
And you're always welcome to come back, and if you have any other tournament.
Well, we have different things to promote, and we have different things to talk about.
We are all about sports, promoting sports.
And when I win my championship, I will come and rub me in the time.
When you get promoted from second division to first division.
Yeah. The big league. All right, then.
Okay, well, thank you.
Alright, cool. Me call you.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with a simply smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean. Simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with a simply smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean. Simply smarter banking.
Okay.
He died.
No, them after all, man. Them after all. Oh, we talk to everybody.
Ready? Yes, Daddy. It was a good interaction a while ago with a youngster from Villa, about the Trinity basketball tournament. But I'm sure this interaction now will be even better with some the overs gang.
Well, very much so. Overs gang, you know, man. There goes those guys on juniors, you know what I mean? But I must tell you, I will give you one of my shocking discoveries.
Right.
A few years ago, you know, I went to a funeral at Freetown, and there's one of our guests there.
Right.
So we do the funeral, it's his sister funeral. So Louis, my grandmother niece, you know. Not knowing Louis go up with me, I never know Louis my family.
Okay.
So Louis my grandmother and nothing never too.
Okay.
So stuff work. So everyone go, you have to speak to Tally to our family and say, boy, they can't choose them. But I'm going to give you one of the joke now, because somebody was telling me yesterday, my partner took one, so I was like, you remember when we were young boys and the Bigsby, he used to go and Bigsby to Bigsby. Remember you sent the fourth son now? I never understand what he said to me is. When I did this politics thing, you know, but the two fourth brothers over there watching the PLM. So two weeks ago, I think I say, hey, you sent the fourth son now, okay, get this done and so. So it's just so much fun, you know what I mean? Yeah, going up the overs, everybody grind, you know. They gotta tell you that they cannot get right back.
That's a big thing.
You know what I mean? And they'll tell you, well, the best tennis player in overs was Big Boy. High one. We could play.
That you have in sports now. Was if you're a player, when I play basketball, any sport, where climbing by just so, you're not good.
So we have a good time. So I'm talking about the great Big Boy, you know?
Right.
You got big. And I want to tell you somebody, maybe I will correct me. He got in there Big Boy because he had to go and keep getting high up.
Well, when talking about taking break.
I want to ask about the big boy story. So
The thing is, he never extended to me. Big brother me always manage. So before he hit the block, he behaved as the biggest person. He used to lie by the magistrate's court there, and same thing. Grammar school boys lie in there, and he would behave as if he in charge. And he was very diminutive, right, at that time. So
that's right. He was a little short. I was short, and he was a little short.
So you were shortest.
He was shorter than me. He was the shortest.
See? He go on, he did that. So he was the bigger one at the time. Everybody say, oh, you're the big one, huh?
Yeah.
Big brother. What time we start calling Big Brother?
Long time. I think he was cemented probably when we started grammar school. Because he went grammar school at 9.
Can you believe that?
September 9th, 1968.
He was 9 and a quarter.
9. He born in April, right. And I was 10, so we started grammar school together.
You were 10 and 3/4.
I
was 11 and a quarter.
Yeah, because Louis is my senior by exactly 6 months. He's the June 16th, and I'm December 16th. So,
and Big Brother is April what?
April 2nd.
I'll tell you quickly. That's for long. You know the same thing, girl?
Yeah,
statistician.
I know that's exactly not quarter now. Kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, you see, the thing is, no, but again, right? The kind of ability that we have, especially with numbers and so on, started at foundation mix. Foundation mix, created that solid foundation.
Timetable.
So, and by the time we were in grammar school at 9 and 10 and so on, we knew our 14 times tables because, 12 times tables wasn't a challenge. Right.
People nowadays don't know the tables. And they
Yeah.
come down by me and so if they say 2 times 3, they have to be punching.
Anyway, somebody told us last week, say, are you serious?
Yeah, the punching.
People don't do estimation and so no more. So
if
they
they
can estimate the ballpark, what the number going to be.
Even if they miss punch and they get something on the calculator, that's way up, they still take it, you know what I mean? They still use
So
it.
our arithmetic skills were par excellence at an early age, and I attribute that to foundation mix,
We used to call Miss Davis.
Yeah.
No, you see, it was, I'd say, I have to agree with them guys, because even when I was working in sports and so, then guys working calculator, they said, the argumental arithmetic is something simple.
We have that problem.
So what it was like what a big brother? What it was like in overs? What it was like?
Well, let me just
Take
give
about
just
just
a quick
overs
narrative about overs. I
Right.
mean, overs was a place that was fiercely competitive in all forms of sport, and as a small boy, even if you were better than, say, somebody older, right, you had to watch, right? And so we played all sport. Somebody like Gary Dublin, which was Big Brother's contemporary, a real talent.
Short too, right?
Short, but extremely talented in everything.
Good bowler.
Right, bowl,
win
bat,
ball,
play football. Yeah, he used to bowl fast football and so
So
on.
you just soup.
But those guys were young and probably had more ability than fellas like Monkey Lettuce and Tohijo and Tuko and so on, especially in cricket. But, they were denied playing because once you
good in
begin
football too.
Gary was an exceptional talent,
Pool, everything, pan dancing.
Yeah, but we're going to get into that, I'm
He was
sure,
good
later
at
on. But
everything.
I want to paint a picture that it is as a result of growing up in the Ovals area. That was a fiercely competitive area. Grinding and putting down people was the order of the day. And in a way, it worked in a positive direction.
You learn to take it.
You learn to take grinding and
give it back,
and the important thing, you would bounce back. You're not going to just take it and you would bounce back. And the competitive, assertive confidence that exuded persons who came from ovals, right? And as I often say, Viv Richards is not as great as he is by accident.
Right.
And I fiercely believe that is as a result of growing up in ovals. I think we always knew that Viv was better than everybody else. But when you hear some guys that had maybe 1/10 of Viv's ability, we say, Jumby Crab, you can't make too much, that kind of stuff. And I think, Viv relished that.
Right.
And that is what brought about the competitive spirit in particular. And not just in cricket, in everything. Viv was a fiercely competitive pool player.
Right.
He played pool
We
too.
played,
I think his big brother taught me pool. By Kennedy.
We used to have a ritual before we went to school. We would go and play some pool before, that kind of thing. So I want to put this in context, and as we discuss Big's journey over the last 64 years, front and center is overs. Have to be overs. Is coming out of that community. Why I think he carved out the kind of journey and the competitive spirit. We played everything. People in our era played everything. Whether you were exceptional at it or not, we were exposed to all sport. We had a tradition in ovals where we would play the local derby, and that the local derby would be North ovals against South ovals.
Right.
And so you run from Drake Street right to Newgate Street, and you probably would separate it from maybe Nevis Street, going back that way. And every Sunday we would have the local derby. And when you get one of those famous steers from Viv Richards, if you made a bad pass, or you passed the ball too far in front of him, so you had to move more than you. And you know, those guys are very, very competitive. And I think, I mean, anybody who grew up in ovals, really, I mean, I moved out of ovals in 1977, and I was born in Cornwall. For those who are old enough,
I
would
thought
know.
it was South Street.
No, Cornwall, right where Perry Shop was.
Okay.
You're familiar with the Perry Shop?
Yeah,
I remember one situation, because Biggs and I are 15 months apart, and I remember Mom went to work, and Biggs was always mischievous too. And he went and mixed up flour and sugar and cornmeal and everything, and both our faces were painted looking through the window.
Yeah.
What
age are you talking about?
that was probably primary school. Yeah, and you know, somebody called Mom and told her that, listen, if you go down by the house now, you'll see the two boys. He was very, very mischievous.
Yes,
no,
he
we
was.
had a helper, but you know, we'd work around that. Very mischievous.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the trouble I got in, and I didn't get in trouble really, was because of him. You know? Yeah.
I remember time we were going night study. Remember we used to have night
Yeah,
study.
right.
And we're going in by Stanmar there. Big brother was throwing up some pebbles, and I think he broke one of them.
Broke
Me
it,
and tape
yes.
before we run straight go school.
Yeah.
We run go school
But
straight.
from what you're saying, like, we had a guest last week who spoke about Big Brother in terms of when he was doing the mechanic stuff when he went to that.
Yeah, well,
with his
and
man.
that in itself was a strange journey too, because Biggs in school was more of an art student. He did Spanish and geography and history and so on. So that's what he did. And then Louis and I went to university, went to Cable in 1975.
Right.
And by 76, I think he had completed sixth form and he got a job in Scotiabank.
Okay.
Yes, he worked at Scotiabank between 1976 and perhaps 1978. And it is in 1978 that BWI expanded their engineering trainee program. So he became an aircraft mechanic
Right.
in 1978 until 86. And it really was a drastic shift, because you can imagine somebody schooled in the arts up to sixth form,
Right.
Yeah.
and then transcending into a scientific realm, really.
He was
I
flexible
mean,
like that.
yeah, he was very adept, right? I think he had tremendous ability to adapt to anything. And I think, I mean, I'm currently in the throes of preparing the eulogy. And so I had to go all the way down to really carve out a 64-year journey. Really
long,
right? I hope it won't be too long. I'm trying very soon.
You'll be reading.
but it's a rich tapestry of a journey, and I attribute a lot of that to the vision of my father. I mean, my father left school when he was 14, but he was very visionary.
Right.
I mean, I knew growing up that we weren't rich, but I can't remember wanting for anything, because the old man ensured that we had everything we needed. We were exposed to encyclopedias and so on very early. We had a ritual where we had to listen to BBC News every night at 7 o'clock. I remember vividly when JFK died in 1963. I know exactly where I was. I was on my step on South Street, and we were listening to the world news. And on the November 22nd, 1963, they announced that JFK was assassinated. And so I remember, so we grew up in ovals, and one of the things that the old man, my dad, insisted on, he allowed us to go to shows very early, because he had this view that
What kind of show?
we had like carnival shows, carnival shows at 9 and 10, his view was that we had to become citizens of the world. We had to mix with people
expose
from
yourself,
all
yeah.
walks of life.
So,
With one simple caveat, I mean, midnight was magical. So if you went out, you got to be home by midnight, and you got to come home together. Right? And invariably, there were times when we would be late, 1 o'clock, had to be bigs. Because bigs went off somewhere. We would agree we might meet at a certain spot.
That time you don't sell your phone.
No cell phone. We're talking about 1968, 69. That kind of thing. So, he was always very opinionated,
He always
self-assured, right? In a crowd with plenty big people. He was a dominant voice, and that I think that transcended his life, and he wasn't afraid of being wrong. Right? Once he had the conviction it was the right pathway for him, you can talk to him till thy kingdom come. He would never relent. Right? He was fiercely confident in his own skills and so on.
He was a good sportsman too.
Yeah.
I remember watching him play football well. I mean, we were in Anton House together. I remember he used to have the bottom field.
We got
and then midfield.
Bottom field, midfield,
and then top field. So when we start out, remember you all throw the gloves on me and tell me, wicket keep. That time nobody tell me, wicket keep.
and we were very enterprising too, because at an early stage we had a club. We had a cricket club where we bought our own games.
East Country
Right by St. John's there.
Just St. John's Ground.
We had our own gear and so on, and we used to.
When we just wear them one, they put the pad on the front foot.
Let me ask, tell me when you play tennis, you were just so where does it do on the cricket field?
Me?
Yeah.
I played for grammar school. I played first division cricket. No matter what you say,
I
used to start the tree.
Okay, defense.
He used to be the captain.
Okay.
What level was one? I used to
Let's settle this thing out. No, say that you own the bad number to the grounds. Not to say much. Even though I'm going to represent, it might get picked.
Well, you can say what you like. But it's a matter of record. That's a matter of record.
I explain that to you.
Oh, yeah, good. Let me hear this joke. Joe coming.
When Joe McGraw became grammar school first, right?
When
Joe McGraw Bibi.
When he came grammar school first, they played parties in the making captain. So I say, we're picking a team, I will pick 9 players easily. We needed another 2. So I said, pick Mervyn, pick Early. And they said to me, Mervyn can't make his team, Mervyn too jokey. And guess what? And Mervyn much better than you, so you never good. That's what I tell you. Well, I was saying to you, you make the team when nobody is there. You
can say that.
Remember we were younger.
You can say
So,
that.
okay, hey, why you top square? You pass 50?
What do you mean? He meant 15 first class cricket. What are you talking about?
Against who?
First class, he said.
Yeah, I remember that. You got 50 years.
Man, wait, Katie come in the show. And Katie won the scorebook. I said, Max, I laugh. I was century against Union Wood Hatton.
Katie bring the scorebook of
Yes.
Of his
Say
forest.
century against Union Wood Hatton. So, you see what I mean? So, you can't see
So,
so
this is about how I'm bringing you record to show.
yeah, we got guys just 50.
Hey, you got to go out and find that scorebook.
Yeah, look at one of them old books.
You have to find one of them.
Remember, we had somebody here, Taddy Company's law, a guy in the States. He went to grammar school too, and he said it was a big battle and stuff, man. Not saying nothing about how.
Clarkson. Clarkson was a good player.
Yes, he was a good
Oh, yeah, Clarkson was a good player. He played with Taddy and them.
See, he was a good player. He played football and track and field. So,
In them days when you play one,
But you see, grammar school encouraged you to play multiple sports. You know, you had to play more. And
we went by the stations.
Which is one of the things that I think militates against school sports now.
Right.
Is that you don't have house matches and so on. Because
we used to have
when I
house
went grammar
matches.
school, we had six
Nantan
houses.
house. You were in a flat.
I was
Me
in a
and
flat,
Big Brother was in a Nantan. You were in Nantan.
The guy spoke about that when you were saying a couple of weeks ago. The guy Brown. Talk about the different houses and stuff.
Yeah, so you played all sports at 3 levels.
Right.
You had juniors, intermediates, and seniors.
Yeah.
But some when the junior good, you get the senior team too.
Right.
If he doesn't talent,
If you can
move
move across, top field was for the seniors, and yeah, middle field and bottom field. Bottom field was just to the west of Aegis right now. We have the road going across it, to the East Boys. We have the road going across it.
We have a parking lot now.
Okay.
Cars parking.
Yeah.
So when you top field, you're the cream of the crop.
You're a big shot. Maybe top field.
So, hang on, go top field, play top field.
Maybe lines, man. So,
You see the 2 overs just are coming through, right?
Maybe a big one. When it comes to the big one, as Susan, the man, the shooting ball and stuff, I can make skills.
I tell you what, one of the things about Biggs, Biggs fancied himself a half spinner. He used to fly the ball plenty.
Remember that.
Tuku used to refer to his bowling as combined lolly.
You know this guy is great. Great supposed to high surface and combine one lollies. Great to high ball, so that was great.
But for what you guys are saying is that upbringing in oval.
No, yeah, for sure.
Competitiveness, man, everything. Academics, everything.
But because I mentioned him earlier, one of the monkey letters.
Right.
Monkey letters be the best in the world.
Right.
Everybody trying to want to match the football, cricket, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Football and all.
Everything you bang about.
Okay.
At the time of worry.
What?
Teeth your man, I worry, finger, eyes. Everything.
Content.
But monkey letters was that kind of guy, you know.
Right.
And look, I remember even took me a one match of time, you know. One man cricket.
Right.
He said, he go down here, he said to me, I'm playing with your man. Say, yes, man, make it bang you. So I had about 3 months. We finally one day, one match. So Carl went to the wicketkeeper. The first one ball took Carl behind. He said, but out. He game done. Everybody say, okay, big crowd watch, big crowd watch, you know.
No, that,
And guess what? Another thing, well, football, we took a football competition, who kick the ball the straightest. We win the one because the joke is like about Sam Boots. Sam Boots. Sam Boots. Every time when the Boots make Sam Twister. So that's all fun. We start fun. It always, everything is competition.
Right.
Yes.
Everything is
I remember when
competition.
Tuku started to play tennis. I remember we started playing
yeah,
tennis
right.
before him. Every day
He was pretty
challenge.
good at tennis, so, you know.
Every day challenging me, beating him straight, but he's still coming back, every day. Every day you want to
You want to beat you.
Yeah, every day beating him and still coming back.
But you know, recently, right, a couple years ago, because Mali, Vivi's son, is a pretty good player.
Right.
Make sure you do something, Anthony.
Yeah, but in tennis, he's a good player.
Oh, yes.
So he was playing against Vivi one day over Vikings, where the national tennis center is now. And he had the upper hand, and Vivi not stopping playing until he banged. Right? You can see Viv walking to go and fetch the ball, man, and his face push up.
Yeah.
You know, Mali and Haley to the cross. Yeah, but it was a real competitive place, right? And I'm very proud that I'm a product of living in that community.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
I'm proud.
going to school, primary school in the community. Going to
Okay, we just right up your road.
right up South Street. You just walk up school.
But the man that had the most, when the plane was one match in over the past, I think it was Mervyn, you know.
Mervyn?
Come monkey letters?
Mervyn.
Come monkey, you try challenge monkey letters, challenge everybody.
Mervyn played one man, he gets 6 people of football.
Right.
Oh, you mean football?
Football,
Oh,
cricket.
I remember he just take on a lot of people in football, just beating everybody.
So there's 6 and 8 man, he plays kids.
Yeah, I remember.
And same to cricket, like every cricket, and I get good man, one match or one, you know.
Right.
You want one match. If you only say good, I'm better than this. Vivian the most man matching overs, you know.
Everybody always want to challenge him. Even though they know he's better than everybody else, they want to challenge him. You know, because the feeling was you can bowl Vivi for 2 and you can hit a 4.
Right.
That's the mentality in Tuku and Tohi, Joe and Monkey.
One of the quick story get Vivi up before 10. You start grinding, man, cuss you out, you start that. Then you get vexed, you knock the ball over the fence. When you knock the ball over the fence, you get 6 but end about it.
Oh yeah, you're out when you're over the fence.
Get the vexed, man, they cuss you out and try and some. Then, hey, come back. Boy, you knock a 6 because you're not knocking about.
So what I realize though, with all what you guys are saying here for overs, the discipline in sports, because sports, everybody keep not getting the picture that sports and education
Everything, man.
can come together, because discipline in sports, you take that into your studies, whether it's UV, you know, and stuff like that.
Determination and
they kind of determined.
I don't know where it came from. Where it actually came from.
Well,
I wonder.
you know, when I look at Devrel, I mean, a lot of people don't know his name.
It's a big brother, man.
Devrel Bertram, right?
Big fascinating.
Well, I have to do all
But the
that.
public don't know who we are.
When you think about his journey, right? Going grammar school at 9, going to 6th form, then working in the bank, and in midstream after 2 years decide he wanted to become an aircraft engineer, right? And he pursued that goal vigorously. Starting in 1978, between 78 and 86, he was an aircraft mechanic, and by 86, he was an engineer, a qualified engineer, taking all the exams and so on, and working for BWI until I think 2007, when they eventually folded up the operations in Antigua. His last stint, the plane would come from Trinidad, then he would go up to Jamaica with the plane to service. There were times that he would stay maybe a weekend, right, to facilitate all the flights and then come back down.
Even St. Kitts, go to St. Kitts.
Right, St. Kitts and so on, because after they had suspended, had closed the operations literally in Antigua. In fact, some persons got caught out, because I think they had a rule of getting service if you did 25 years. I think Patrick Evanson fell foul of that. He fell short, and you know, the Antiguans, the workers at the Antigua station never capitalized on that at all. So once his BWI stint, having garnered that wide array of experiences in aviation and in aviation aircraft maintenance and so on, I think it was a natural transition when he got a job as the safety and security director at the airport authority. That he did until I think 2010, I believe, or 2010, I think, is when that stint started and ended in 2017. I think that's the chronology. But I mean, if I were to sum him up, he's an extremely talented individual, very strategic in his outlook, self-belief. I mean, he used to have some joke when we were growing up, and he saw a young lady, he fancied himself as a big dancer. And he threw over his gusto. He would say, if he saw a lady that he fancied, he'd say, Ram, all it takes is one dance. That was kind of his watchword. He said, all I need is one dance on the dance floor. And school is out after that. You know, so he was fiercely confident, you know, I mean, as I said, mischievous, would get you into trouble. I don't know if you remember it, but there used to be a bakery on Market Street, right where the Wills building is. I don't know if you remember some Bajans used to run it.
Yeah.
And one day, Big Brother, very small, saw the girl going to school and he spanked her on her rear. And she didn't know the difference between us, so she went and told my old man that I hit her. Needless to say, Biggs hid, right, while the old man was chastising me. And one of the things too, he always said he will give us a hearing. If you did something, you get a hearing so you can explain. So I would say, Dad, it's not me, you know. It's Devrel, go and hit the girl, and she did. So he summoned him, and then when he came, you know, sheepish, and he said, well, Dad, I was just, you know, making friends with us. You know, but that was big, you know. He fearless,
Right.
you know, fearless and determined. In recent times, he would, well, I don't know if a lot of people know, but he was ill. He was ill. He started to experience kidney disease, and you know, he had to go for dialysis twice a week. But he didn't let that put him down. He was still positive in his outlook. You know, he just took it in stride, and underwent his treatments twice a week on a Monday and a Thursday, and he was as positive as ever. In April of this year, we hosted a bridge tournament, the OECS Bridge Championship, and coming out of COVID, because the interesting thing is, you know, I mean, I think most people probably bridge is just an ordinary game, but it is the best card game.
Every time you see me, say, no, you have to come
and when you consider that, you know, 220 million people play bridge worldwide, and in a way, COVID did not disrupt bridge. In fact, you found more persons playing bridge because of the restrictions. But to say that we were supposed to host the bridge championships, OECS Bridge Championships in 2019, and of course COVID spoiled that. And Biggs was just obsessive about us hosting the tournament at great odds. And to be fair, he almost single-handedly took on the mantle of ensuring that we had a tournament. It was, you know, a reduced tournament. We did not get the kind of participation that we had anticipated or expected, but we were able to break even. And you know, he was very, very proud about, you know, having put together the team to host the tournament. And so that was one of the last things he did with the Bridge Club, but he had an obsession for bridge.
Yes,
I taught him the game.
I just want to ask if you can play. I just want to ask if you can play.
I learned the game from the old man.
I have to go on YouTube and everything.
I love that.
Okay, I want to go up and say,
I just want to ask about if you can beat by bridge.
Understand is that bridge is a mind sport.
Right.
Right? I have one of the finest minds.
Right.
For playing bridge. And so Big Brother too. Very strategic. I mean, he and Frank, I had a very, very, very valuable and productive partnership. Right. In fact, they participated in a bridge. Well, not the world, but Central America. And we in a region, Central America and the Caribbean. So there's a tournament every year, and that goes into what is referred to as the Bermuda Bowl, which is the World Championships. But they played a tournament in Frank and they played a tournament in Jamaica. I think it was about 1989, memory serves me. Without going in too much into bridge, the highest contract you can play is a 7 no trump contract, where there is no trump, and what it means, you have to get all of the 13 tricks, the partnership. And he would often joke about a game that he and Frank I played, where the first time no trump was mentioned, because it's a bidding process. You have to, it's called contract bridge, so you have to bid for the contract you have to play. So if you decide you're going to make 7 no trumps, then 6 is the standard plus 7, 13, meaning you get all the 13 tricks. And there is no trump, right? So the highest card dominates. Anyway, you'd say, Ram, me hard now. Me Frank, I play one contract. And the first time no trump get mentioned is at the 7th level, right? So, you know, he was fiercely competitive. I mean, the final thing I want to say about the competitive nature, he would often state
that he's one of the very few Antiguans to have represented his country in 3 sports. Right? You say, we play football and cricket, but that's it.
So he played.
And I see one of the finest pool players has just joined us. Louis' brother, Austin Jardy. And so you would say pools. I represented the country in pools. I represented the country in dominoes.
Okay.
The squad here on my left was and also bridge.
Okay.
You know, so, and, you know, you would talk about those things all the while, you know. He even had a joke with the domino competition because, and this is the why I can't understand. I know we grow up.
Time you lose the game?
No.
Oh.
I hear now, and I mean, that is a tradition that I am not familiar with, that you can give sign in domino.
You can give sign on there.
Well, this is how they play tournaments on the regional stage,
When
where you can give sign.
The sign thing,
So
yeah.
he told me that he and Tiny were playing a game against some Bajans. And Big had the key card, the one card that can play both ends, and he had one card. So they played against the Bajans, and the Bajan fella there saying, just fooling around. So Big Bro got impatient and say, boy, you can't play the card, you see me have the key card. So he said, I choke you, man, I choke you. And want to declare that they win the game because Big played before his time. So Tiny just got up and just start the game. Yeah, but it's a horror for me to imagine that domino is now being played with sign, and it's accepted as the way to play domino across the region. I mean, we would work out.
It's a worldwide thing now.
I know it's worldwide, but that's how it's being played.
I want
with
to
character.
talk about something. Because Louis said, being asked invited to the bridge. He was invited to the case. He said, look, you'll be making with domino, bridge spear.
It's inviting me more. Tell me his numbers,
Do you want to take about something else? Can you said
It is.
that bridge was always sport played worldwide during COVID?
No, I didn't say worldwide.
What?
But I
When did I figure that? So I don't break
we had to play. We had to
When
play.
I don't break
You were
rules.
playing
Social
even though
distancing
COVID
was
was
6 feet at a time.
No, but because one scope. No, but it's online.
Oh, I know.
Online.
Oh, okay. I know.
So what I was saying is that bridge is you have over 220 million people play
Play
bridge.
bridge.
And, well, generally 220 million worldwide, right? And because of computerization and technology and so on, right? During COVID,
They're still
you have
playing.
millions playing bridge online. And so we played bridge online. That's all we had to do because of the social distancing and so on.
Well, I want something else now. Because Chad was this fine pool player, you know, with his brother. But he's a very good domino player too.
I know.
Hold on.
That's why I made the comment when he came in.
Every son used to go away, Louis.
I know you can have it,
Domino
right?
was 12 balls.
Of course.
Then, you know, he built a house just to play pool and domino.
Yeah.
That boy, he let Johnny put it.
But his grandmother was very visionary, so she accommodated her and her grandson to do what they want.
He was every Sunday. Yeah, have a party, you know. So, you know, me and Bixby. He had foot as I remember them though, Clark and somebody, the judge and Clark. I remember them guys, man.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, maybe
God used to work up at Crazy House. Clark.
Sunday was a big deal down the first now. You go away, but
I'm not doing the sign.
No sign.
I'm not doing the sign.
We don't know that. We don't do the sign business. But Jado was this great pool player too. But he's very good domino player. But I mean, me and Big Little Bang, yeah, plenty anyway. You know, it's
Let me ask you a question then. Hiram say teach Big Brother how to play the bridge. I didn't hear you comment on that. So at least.
Well, see, tell you what.
Yeah, guy.
Big boy, may Hiram.
You know my talent. You know mine. You know mine.
I see the child that I want
He wanted to teach somebody something, but let me ask you a question. And the mark teacher already now can you zoom on? The teacher man so but he not big with a guy on the feet.
The teacher man, I think I come better than you.
One of the things, as I said earlier in the program, I was born in December, and 16th was my birthday, and it was a Saturday. it was a sad day. So again, to exemplify the scope of playing bridge online, the St. Lucians have a Saturday game online.
Right.
And so Biggs and I played. We played in the afternoon between 2 and 5, and then afterwards we linked up between 7 and 9 o'clock. And I left him at 9 and went home, crashed out, and then to be greeted with the horrific news that he had passed, you know. And while I have an appreciation that he was ill, and once you're ill, especially if you're ill internally, I mean, it can happen anytime. Especially when you have kidney disease, I mean, your kidneys can just fail outright, just like that, without giving notice. In fact, the medical people argue that when kidney disease surfaces, you've probably been experiencing symptoms a long time before. You know, and even now as I'm talking here, I still can't rationalize it, right? I mean, I suppose on the day when the funeral takes place, I'll be able to really put it in perspective. I mean, it's the first time I've really come close, to death,
Right.
You know, in terms of, you know, going and seeing the person not moving, lifeless, you know, and absorbing it all, and then you realize that it's a kind of final journey, and I suppose the real final journey is when he's 6 feet under.
True.
I mean, I've tried to get my composure in all of this, because it's not easy. I mean, as I said, we're 15 months apart, and he's 64, so you know, we virtually did everything together, perforce, when we were growing up.
Together.
Yeah, because you know, as I said, my dad was very visionary in insisting that we must mix with people from all walks of life, get exposure, going to carnival shows and other shows, cultural shows and so on. From since we were 9 and 10, with a caveat you had to come back together and you must be back by midnight and that kind of thing. And I think that has really shaped our upbringing in a significant way. Apart from growing up in ovals, I can't rest that, because that's really significant. I firmly believe that. I mean, I meet people all the time that I haven't seen in a while, and you know, when I go into ovals, you know, sometimes, or most of the times I go into the market, I park there. Some of the people I don't really know, because I think the whole community has changed considerably over the last 50 years or so. You know, but it was a fantastic place to grow up. I think Bill, and Bill is another nickname. We have a cousin, I'm sure you know, Mickey Jarvis.
We're going to take 5 minutes break. When we come back, though, I want to ask you about, in terms of that part of Big Brother life and stuff like that. And also getting our good friend there, the pool master, to share his perspective also.
All right.
So take a break.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with the Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean, simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with a Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean. Simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with the Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean. Simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with the Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean. Simply smarter banking.
Ball, sit down there and watch the girls and stuff and Christ the King.
I see Hiram laughing. He remember those days too.
Big always be in the mix, man.
Yeah, he was always up front.
Always trouble somebody, man.
Yeah. He was always in front. That's why you have to call him Big Brother.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to girl and said, go behind bars to get you.
Mike on, Mike on, so he think where to
Yeah,
go?
we like. So you say, wait at the girl?
Go behind bars to get you.
Yeah, he was one determined guy, boy. Last time I saw we had a staff meeting upstate college. I say, Biggs, but when I went grammar school, I was 11. But you were 9. You know what I mean? Me and Hiram always juggling between first and second, but he always somewhere there close to us. I say, you had to be brighter than us, man. 2 years you're talking about now,
Right.
He had to be brighter than us.
Right.
Okay, he always somewhere there close by all the time, you know.
I was told your brother is a big pool player. Was playing. Did you hear him? Big
Well, this is the famous one.
famous.
Famous John. This is my competitor. What's the bang young with Dublin?
He just bang young?
I say otherwise. Big one is a bang
You
man.
say him big was a more formidable partnership
Well,
before you and Biggs.
now when I drop with the cooking business, I just big one with him.
No. Correction.
Then when I gave big one formal training, then I went down the cricket business. I don't time my son is anymore, so John took him up.
Correction.
So Judge have the sequence different.
I guess so.
Yeah, the sequence is definitely different.
John, I don't believe that.
Let me use this opportunity
Yes.
once again to kind of express, how sad it is, and my condolences to Hiram and the family. When I heard of Big Brother's passing, I was shocked to the point where I was waiting for a second call. A friend of mine called me, and I said, no, this must be a mistake. It's fake news. It took me a few days before I got over it. And the reason for that, is a long history between, I'm 5 years older than Big Brother, let me say that early, but there's a long history and relationship between us, sitting down on the block in ovals, etc. His family was one of the first families to get a black and white TV.
I used to like go baker shop boy because
It was
I'd
TV.
go watch TV for some hours and then
Yeah.
tell them the bread
Yeah.
bread already. Yeah.
They sent me to Dicky Lake at that point to shop.
Wait. Look at Dicky Lake.
Yeah, between by with Kelly.
It was a supermarket.
Yeah, supermarket,
It was
yeah.
a supermarket.
Cool smooth.
Big supermarket.
Cool smooth right there.
Cool and smooth, the whole block there.
So every Saturday night they would send me to do the family shopping. And instead of going left, Dicky Lake was about, let's say, 125 meters, yards or so away. And when I reach on Market Street, instead of turning left, I turn right. Because I got my big brother to watch black and white TV. Because I watch Naked City. Because I watch Naked City and all the 8,000 stories in the Naked City. This is one of them. And by the time I reach home, well, I have to say, boy, Dicky Lake full of people. Dicky Lake full of people, yeah. But let me fast forward a bit, because there's so much to say about Big Brother, this talkative, mannish, short, precocious young man. And always like first night, always amongst the big boys, And somehow we had a bonding. He was a guy 11, I was 15. He showed me a pool table for the first time. When I first saw a pool table, his big brother took me. He 11, I'm 16, carried me and showed me a pool table in Kennedy on the Chiquita. And so I learned to play pool.
That time, yeah.
And what I never forget, in 2 weeks, learning pool for the first time, in 2 weeks I tell him I'm better than him. He said, Jardine, you're conceited. 2 weeks you playing pool, you're better than me, right? And so Big Brother brought me to this game that I loved against my family wishes that I should not go in a rum shop. And so I navigated all the rum shops, playing pool, after school, Gato, all of them. I was in them. And it was Big Brother. Yeah, it was Big Brother who started that. Let me say something about domino quickly.
Well, we feel something, though.
Yeah, I'm going to refute something because I also won the Domino National Championship in around 1980 and went to Barbados. And when I came back, I stopped playing domino. I stopped playing domino because of sign. Yeah, the sign. Yeah. They were playing sign, and I stopped. I stopped playing domino. But prior to that, Big Brother was my partner. Right? So when I was in my early teens still, I did with my partner, and we used to go to Royal Bank Clubhouse and play against Vernon Foot. And we used to beat them, me and Big Brother. Yeah. Because if I can say something, I recognize that they were kind of patterns in domino, and me and this brother would discuss them. And we were playing percentages. And I can see took that maybe to bridge, right? Yeah, we were playing percentages. So we had a mindset that was synchronous. Because you see a pattern. If Big Brother posts blank and I pick up 2 blank or something, I say the chances are he has 3, I have 5. So we play pattern and things like that. And I would determine who would pose. unconditionally, right, and so forth. Anyway, we played, and Vernon Foot and the guys from Royal Bank used to accuse us of playing with sign. Never played it with sign once in our life, right? We never played sign. It was a part of culture. And then subsequently, I became Vernon Foot partner, and then we won the national tournament, etc., etc. I want to say something finally about Big Brother and Pool. In about 2010, 2011, I was called and told that I was going to form some pool association in Antigua. I had retired, having won national championship a couple of times. I retired, and I decided that I'll make a contribution to the game. So I went away, I got certified, and now I'm a Billiard Congress of America professional billiards instructor association certified instructor. And we had a tournament on Boxing Day. And this Boxing Day, this year. And I just reflecting on Big Brother and say, he started all of this for me by showing me a pool table. And I have written about it. I've written, an article about it, that this young man influenced me to play the game, right? And what Big Brother had was, he was so confident, talented, talkative, confident he could do anything, play football, play cricket, play pool, play domino, and then every time he saw me, Jardian, I call Mr. Jards. I'm the first person over to the night, right? From I was 14, he used to call me Mr. Jards. And he would say, Sir Jards, you make a good bridge player, Jack, let's go.
I never took up bridge.
But
numbers,
Big Brother was an amazing young man, just amazing.
Polly, performer Polly, tell Polly the same to you, say, Polly, the way you just play domino, so you come play bridge, come play the bridge, man, come play the greatest game in the world.
But you have my take, when Johnny said he went to Barbados, and he stopped playing because of the sign. But Big Brother realized we can conquer sign the people. So he when he jump with Big Brother, he got a greater man. Because he can't handle the sign people, he can deal with them.
Well, I give you the credit to be the greatest sign.
Keep going inside.
No, but that is true.
About the pool story, I mean, and when Bill latched on to game, I said Bill.
Bill, you call him.
I was affectionately called him. Mickey gave him the name.
Yeah.
Mickey Jarvis.
Billy Mohana Man or something like that. And the name stick, but anytime he latched on to a game, it's an obsession. Right? He had that kind of obsession. So when we were going to grammar school, before we go to grammar school in the morning, we wake up and go have a pool game. Go play a pool game.
2 minutes away.
Yeah,
2 minutes away.
2 games.
And I think he represented Antigua when perhaps he's around 13.
Wow.
Because I called Pat Beezer, who is one of the prominent figures in pool in Antigua. I called him this morning after telling called me for this show. He could not remember the year.
Right.
But he told me he brought St. Martin. He brought St. Martin and St. Thomas here. And they played at the village school and they played at CMC. He said they played at CMC when the building was just complete, it was not occupied.
Right.
They played there. And what I remember, I don't think I was in the country at the time, but what I remember from maybe what Bigsby, that's you used to call him Bigsby. Bigsby. But you remember, we used to, I'm sure you forget, there's one that you want to forget. The bigger brother.
I know that the bigger brother.
Anyway, he played and he was sensational. He won and so forth. Yeah, he was sensational. I think he won some prize money in a pool stick. This diminutive. I'm sure he might have been maybe around 13 at the time.
Just reaching the table.
Yeah, just reaching the table.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's he introduced me to pool first. And I said, well, I can play this game. It's about geometry and angles business.
You sent it to me?
Yeah, but Big Boy was a special guy, man. I mean, special, like Ram said, when you do something you're very passionate about it. Like obsession.
I mean, the last game he latched onto his bridge. He probably been playing for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And it's an obsession. Obsession about popularizing the sport. I mean, he came to me several times when I was principal at the State College. And even after I've left the State College, I mean, he's been up there trying to popularize the game. I think he recognized, and it is the rule with most sports, you know. If you don't have young people playing,
Right.
eventually the sport
I think like, for instance, like, I think like chess and warriors are
I
the new
remarked to you that worldwide you have 220 million people playing bridge. And in all of that, the average age of persons playing bridge is about 61.
Wow.
Right? You think about you have close to
That's
8 billion.
The young people
those
are
guys,
playing.
who those guys are on the screen? Sorry to interrupt you. Who those guys on the screen there?
Well, you can see these guys my wedding there.
I see them going smooth there.
Yeah. Yeah, some mustache and something.
Yeah.
Some black mustache.
Yeah, but he was a fine mind, a huge talent in everything he played. He played with a certain amount of gusto and confidence.
Determination.
And he wasn't deterred by comments. Like I say, fancied himself a half spinner, but he used to really bowl lollies.
What position you used to bat again? I
see-
don't remember
well,
what position you used to
I
bat.
like down six.
Six
Well,
or
see what happened to me, you know. See, look, from the time you got into this bridge business, he would call man almost every week. Yeah, they come in to play with me, man, but he cost me half away with the hotel. Hey, we can be champion like dominoes, man. It was a big, I can't handle the kind of sport, man. I can't stay one place so long, man. These old people, some.
When you sit down on the game, how long it would take?
It depends on the number of points. So, for example, like in practicing, we may play like so. Then the national team is Eddie Baines, Novel Martin, myself, and Big as the.
Wait. That's something cooking about. All over people.
All over people.
I don't understand.
So,
Hey, you know the same thing? I was say, but it was so sweet, though.
yeah.
No, but it's so sweet.
So we would play
Yeah,
like we just say we're going to do
I
a
don't
session
want
and
to
we
say
play 24 balls.
Right.
We play a match of 24 balls. And recently, the French have some very, very strong players. Recently, on a bi-monthly basis, we would challenge some colleagues from Martinique. In fact, the next Bridgestone OECS Bridge Championships is going to be Martinique in Guadeloupe.
Okay.
And so we play with them. We just played a match with Trinidad and so on. So, you know.
But I want to remember one of the things that because you remember when Daddy had this, the mini moke, man. Every Sunday, people were taking the mini moke. You watch the mini moke in country band, and his co-pilot was Tuku. And they were country band from South Street to country band. Nowadays, South Street, two-way street, you know, that kind of stuff. I think two-way. So Tuku, see me the next day, and they took me together. Was everything. Hey, Daddy boy, here's your way country band to watch, and pick the mini moke. And guess what? Big brother get the mini moke, kick off. The hiccup, oops.
It was beer guy in them days.
Always very mischievous.
Standard. Cash if you go to
One of them Morris BMCs, old fashioned one, AG 946.
Wow.
And we live in South Street, right opposite
QT.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Big's gone in the car, and I understand he said, South Street was two-way. And he said, I go down the road, because going down towards Astor Mason. Somehow he turned too much to the left, so the car ran in the gutter. And I think at the time, Benji and the old man had a little squabble, but that didn't preclude Benji from going and grabbing into two cars. Yeah, he's always very mischievous, always daring something.
Yeah.
And what's interesting in reflection is the culture in ovals. We had Kemoy, Gary, and Bixby as if they were always trying to compete and outdo each other. As it is most man did, right? With football.
And there were three small men.
Yeah. Three the youngest, in the group. And,
I mean, a lot of people don't remember that Biggs played pine. He played,
Oh boy, I didn't even remember that.
He
Played
played
the guitar, yeah.
He tried everything.
Brute force or which one
No, it
is
was
it?
one of them latter iterations of brute force.
Oh,
But
okay.
then he was the captain.
Right, but I remember they came back.
That's true. I don't think Texas.
We used to play bass.
This is another one, yeah. I forgot about it, man. somebody told us about it on the show. I think it's Johnny Gomes.
Johnny Gomes.
Text us down to the one that I used to call it Society man. More academy guys. But another one, there was some way them guys, and you know, it's Carl White. But then he was a fine tuner too. Chain of Steve, man. But as some guys don't laugh, it is Wood was better than Hellsgate, man. They have a soul seed over, man. So get back that.
The first band to produce.
Yeah, they do a record.
But Biggs was in everything, you know what I mean? Biggs tried everything, man. Typical Oval's guy.
You remember Bolo when we just played that thing, Click Clack, by Miss Knight, with the two balls, and you go Click Clack, remember, that's the string. Remember, we want to see who have the record and so. Remember, Big Brother take it that time, grammar school, we used to go up to 12 o'clock, go for lunch, go, and then I have to go back 1:15 to 3:15. So you take it from 12 o'clock and go straight home and you go click, clack, click, clack, click, without making any mistake.
Yeah,
I remember he had the record for a while.
Even marbles, we used to play marbles, and cards, and what?
You know, when people play marbles on their way to the shop, they see 7 o'clock coming, and then they get what.
When we went grammar school first form, the building was the building named Nanton. We used to play marble right there, boy.
Every competition was a
You and Gary does have some competition with marble, boy.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Chase big pan,
But what happened?
Marble.
The chess.
Yeah.
Even I met Gary maybe some years ago, we were talking again, right? He said, boy, Shadian, your hand was too big for so young now. Because, you know, the palm, my hands were larger at that time. But we played marble, and we played marble from school to home, you know. And it was an exciting time. And it's, you know, when I reflect and we say, oh, well, we were really city boys. We are close to all the activity.
everything.
And you would tell me we close to the library and everything.
Close to the library, close to and
We used to have by that we used to have like an open space. And on that road back in, we used to get the turtle. And then kite.
Oh, yeah. And go up Michael's Mountain.
Yeah, and even in the latter stages, Vivi was very influential when he came back home in summer. We all gather at at the East West Station. Rivalry.
With cricket teams
in point, and so Bixby and
not ovals, then south ovals.
You see, I went to a party on the beach in Martin before it was still. Tira. I was a bang out with cricket. You know, I think I'm good with steel, man. They become overs, get overs, So, cricket, used to bang them out with cricket. He was a big old man and stuff. So, I remember those days, man. It's so correct.
Yeah. I mean, Bixby and Kemoy and you know, and Gary showcasing the talent and East West Station. It was very competitive, those two.
Jado, remember at one time over Derby chance we went to the recreation grounds now. And when the Derby went on, police orders or something. Police orders. The cutest is have a jump fence.
Man.
Yeah, man, jump fence.
Jump fence. And then we'll leave for Nego Fort James or something like that, right? Yeah.
It's just over the days when it special days.
Rich interactions on every front.
Well, everything competition. Look, about just before COVID, I remember two came here, I was telling Big Brother. And so, Big Brother gave me a joke. Boy, every day of competition, you beat me on my sit-ups, you beat me on my push-ups, you get beat up. But they said, plant with this time, man. We get arm wasted. So we put it on the table, but slam it down. So, you get a chance to do this. So, took this cost now, it vexed. So I said, well, just Big Brother, they bang your arm wasted. That was no competition, but said the man bang your arm. Up to when he came last, Big Brother bang your arm, we are wasted. So Big Brother tell me, look, can't take what they defeat it. I want to put it.
Took one night to be young girl, you know, he said, so this 26-year-old body and this 20-year-old.
Oh boy.
To be over people.
When you go in gym and so on, the girls and then come and say, how old are you?
Over blood.
How Rob says true. He does the same way Big Brother went up to the field and he and me and Vivi with him. So I said, fat self. I said, fat? Boy, God, and girls call me in the yard. Sweet to cool, huh? The fat self might have all the muscles and so.
You know, Vivi kind of in nemesis, right? So he would be calm, boy. Sometimes I'll play basketball and I'm down up, you know. Just every
That was a competitive culture, right?
This guy will be a plan for you, you know. When you go up, man, I'll see that's very poppy. You know, he has some, you know, big upper body.
Right.
And weak. Then you have a plan for you, as soon as he climb up, he's like,
But that's always culture, you know?
Yeah.
Competitiveness. Everybody does. It's a competition.
Yeah,
Right.
competition.
you know, and the neighborhoods change up, so, I mean, they were joking about Ronan Matthew. So, some fellas see, and right in front of where the Francis is.
Yeah.
And some boys in the neighborhood ask if you get lost.
Oh, right.
And one road. Next way, you
Straight up.
But see, no, it says, I remember one day he came out here, those scenes, he come looking for me, but I wasn't there. Yeah. So, when I went to Jesus, I said, a white man can't look for you. I said, white man there. When I finally won that. So he brought the white guy, he can't get for that.
But what's interesting about Ovals, right, when you talk about Ronan and Mervyn,
Right.
Ovals was so proud of itself that there was a saying in Ovals, there are only two kind of persons in Antigua. Those who came from Ovals and those who wish they were from
Somebody said, I don't know. Somebody said,
Yeah.
somebody said,
That is what he was. He was just highly competitive.
But so what was said, they told me, I don't know, the Portuguese living there.
Yeah.
Portuguese. And they were the merchants at that time.
Mm.
The people like Syrians know they do, the business people. So
You read, they call it Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And remember Maple, that was David School.
Yeah.
That's a big club where white get-togethers, big sporting club, football, cricket, all those games. You know what I mean? So Ovals had a full share of greatness. You know? I was telling somebody the other day, when they saw Winston Derby came out from Canada, so he Winston was skinny guy when he jumped. Right now, so.
Who that?
Winston Derby.
Winston Derrick, living just up the road, right?
Yeah,
Oh, right. He was slim, eh?
That's what we were
Right.
When you see Roger Finn, you probably figure that's where Boston, you know.
But
Yeah,
but
right.
I got a joke anyway the other day. Somebody called me and said, "Pan, I'm sure." And there's somebody to the #1 news feed. They laugh.
Yeah,
People didn't know that was #2 news feed.
Number two is Prince
Class.
Class.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
number two. So they laugh.
Number two.
Oh, people didn't know that #2 news feed. Because those who news feed know is Prince Class.
Prince Class Street, yeah.
So I tell myself, wow. Somebody went with somebody said #1 news feed. They laugh. They tell me fun memories of the old days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so when I'm going Daniel Bagel Shop, we leave Rodney Street, which is Lionel Street now. Then you cross #2 New Street and #1 and then South Street and then head down. Go by Hiram and then go watch TV for a while. And then tell them the bell.
Institution over, you know, that's a big job.
Yeah, man.
When it got there.
Clarvis old man, you know, Clarvis used to live across there, Posted Street.
Yeah.
And Clarvis old man used to
come from Portland Street to the Daniel Village up in
Yeah, in there always full boy.
Well, you guys
And
know
the
what
little
the song
And the little boy, you can't get through.
Daniel Bishop.
I'm
The
glad
song
you
they invented
just go by her.
was to see Oscar Mason come on the front porch to brush his teeth.
I remember my father took with me, with I would need a quart. Get my bread, butter, and cheese, and the soda, and so, 25 cents. We thought about 32 cents, and you get the bigger bread. Yeah, bread, butter, and cheese, and we got meeting at our girls, you know what I mean?
I remember going Daniel when he was pence cent.
Yeah.
Shilling and
That kind of stuff, yeah.
I can get on 4 pence bread and
Then I can't go with a favorite king.
that after Daniel and everything.
Yeah,
There you go.
favorite king of the wood.
He does have his face so set up.
So Daniel was before was Carlo coming after Daniel.
I'm not sure, but the two
Yeah,
They were there at the same time. But
Oh, they said that?
Pamela had a face so set.
Mary was a new stuff. Yeah,
Daniel was the tradition.
The foundation.
After they do have anything about
McKinnon's have burger, cutters, and
the hamburger, yeah.
okay, and then they're Perry Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, well,
Famous show.
we used to live in their house before the shop.
Yeah, for the shop was there, okay,
Okay.
The shop used to be on the by where Jerry Guns lived.
Yeah, okay.
A big sandwich between Tanner Street and South Street.
And there's a big barber, some Cooper or something barber just there. Cooper.
JC.
What's the name of that man that Big Brother used to mimic, the fast talker? No, not Marky May. There's a man who used to go on the bird shop and he would say, "We can't work no make that VC, but no hard problem, you just country, you know, you can't say the finger up and so much. It is check fast.
Yeah.
Big was a mass of that man.
Not only a mass, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody coming to the police and getting a problem, he's gonna grind them up. He just chop himself.
He chose them then. Yeah.
Just chop himself.
I remember the first time when this is, remember a fellow from the English Army named Jordan Hospital. So he and Jordan Hospital had some kind of problem. And Biggs, Miss Davis school had a down street.
Yeah.
Led to Firestone.
He just swing
Take
on
up
that.
a Firestone to chop the guy. And I said, Biggs, don't do that. And he used to take the chop and still chop. That was the first fight we get in the Miss Davis school.
But it was,
I remember we
there
did
was
jump out to
there was a
the
pound used to be. There was a pound used to be by down the street. There's a
Oh, by
pound.
the down street.
There's
That's
a
why
pound.
I had that story.
You see, the Civil Davis School next to the big building, wooden building, that was a pound office.
Oh, yes. Remember, yeah.
My family country with the pounds, they took me Davis School yeah, for a while.
So, all the time in
Yeah,
school,
you know the pound school, yeah.
it's always a trouble. Everybody see this girl, my name Jerry Barking.
Remember that name.
Right.
Remember
So
that name.
it's jump up and kishy because you're very short.
Jump
Jump up and kishy. So she make a report to Hilda Davis. So the whole
School.
in the auditorium. So the report is made. So Hilda singly out. She said, okay, you love kissing, come.
Big just shrub himself. Right. Just shrub himself. Everything is humorous, and I think also being that diminutive,
Right.
at the time because big.
Stamp is authority.
We thought we thought Biggs was going to be a midget. And then in a couple of years he put on
Right.
2 feet.
I remember I was short for a while too. I was a little above him. Compared to, yeah.
As a matter of fact, so I took the exam for grammar school in the third to last class at night, and Biggs was in the law class. So I passed it to go to grammar school. So Davis tell the old man, she don't think it's a good idea to separate us. So you know, if you remember, I went down to the second to last class and Big then going to the third class. That's how we ended up going grammar school at the same time.
Mm.
And boy, in short.
Yes.
Because my Roman school to go up thing. People used to sit and say, boy, look at that boy there, he lay here and he could run in the same.
You said it went down just to stay with him for a while.
The old man saying that. So I would have gone to grammar school the year before. So
Yeah.
we go at the same time.
Yeah.
Same point.
It backfired, didn't you?
But I remember big jokes up there though. Remember Crazy Peter? Crazy Peter going over. Peter was told the man and so. Hey, remember that
He's a tall man.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm juggling between first and second, but he was always there. So
Right.
he had to be, he had to be brighter than us, you know, because 2 years, he had to be brighter than us.
You know, because I remember before he went to work Scotiabank, he didn't pass mathematics at Cambridge. And he told me, he said, Ram, I forget you this by the time meeting, you know. And he looked serious. I said, Biggs, all you have to do is practice. And he got distinction.
Wow,
Right.
nice.
University at the time, but you know, determination, self-belief, supremely confident, right? Size, fame didn't matter.
Yeah,
You know,
that didn't matter.
he always feel he can contend with anybody, no matter how big it be.
So I remember when he's with my casa again, I used to wake up in the morning first to go to the beach. We used to go to Jaguar, exercise and all that. Then he moved to Coolidge now. So I said, Biggs, hope you can wake up, you know. So you got Biggs not waking up, so he just chose two in the house. I wake him up, so we go to the beach. They started a job work, sometimes we leave the vehicle there, we went to the job work and back. So they 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we went to the job work and back. So he made me real close, big one, real body, you know what I mean? So I know you miss my body, you know, because everything see, he nice me, you know what I mean?
Right.
When he come to the bridge, I said, see what Biggs, man, at the time they can't give it all, man, you know what I mean? Leave that alone, man, you know, but Biggs just, you know what I mean? He really can do something.
So you love the bridge there, can you see that you love bridge like?
The last day we communicated about the bridge, and we literally communicated because, as I said, the Saturday before he died on the Sunday was my birthday.
Right.
And we had hooked up and so on. And the last thing he talked about is
Bridge.
The hand that obeyed, I should obey that.
That's right.
Come, we see we had a kind of ritual. So we play bridge on a Saturday. And then on a Sunday we conduct the postmortem.
Right.
So we would conduct the postmortem all things being equal.
Right.
Right? Because when I said, boy, I'm not talking about this now. All the school out now. I have to talk about them. Come on, forget.
I mean, you can tell us about, because I know he was so sad when Frank I passed. He's
Oh,
big
yeah,
partner.
yeah. Yeah, because, he and Frank I really
Close
progressed.
because of the game.
I mean, Frank I really, I think, can be credited with the kind of expertise he developed in bridge. There's a picture from that picture last night.
Wait.
Does he? Does he?
Wow, that's what, yeah.
It might have been,
The Afro years.
Yeah.
Could he actually pass you height? No, he couldn't. He said
No,
I think he.
Yeah, it's another bag. Yeah. So, as I said, right now I'm doing the
Eulogy.
putting the eulogy together and so on.
Well, I just had something I didn't know because this gentleman made an excellent point there in terms of waiting to the pool. Right.
If they have any anecdotal references they want included, just send it to me.
Stafford got in touch with me, Stafford Lewis.
No, this
and
Joe
yeah, Joe Vance put in something together.
That's probably, I think that picture is September 89.
Okay, that's
So he had
big
just
brother.
That's when he was realized sort of thing.
3 years, no, when he got his license in 86. So
Okay.
3 years, and he had his license, his engineering license. But even that journey was really, as I said, a real big transition because as I said, Biggs in school focus on the arts, Spanish,
And the languages
history,
and
so
that
on.
kind of stuff,
Right,
yeah.
because they those subjects at A-level. And
We were more into the mathematics.
Did 2 years at 2 years at Scotiabank, and then the journey in aviation started in
Transition.
78. Right, we did his stewardship as an aircraft mechanic between 78 and 86, and then it's from 86 he became a licensed engineer.
But Trevor was saying that he got some issues, some challenges there in terms of the
Yeah,
politics,
well,
the political
yeah,
involved
you know,
with those
the Trinidad
Trinidad and stuff like that, yeah.
I think BWI was dominated by the Asians.
Right, they mentioned that.
And one thing about Trinidadian Asians, they look out for their own people.
Right.
They don't want to squash it. And Trevor was saying that Bill was going to do an exam, and he went to the table.
With right.
So the man, the supervisor asked him, where did that? He wondered if his man got the man that he
yeah. Trevor, mention that.
Asians always seem to be
Yeah, Trevor mentioned that. And that speaks to about the way I said about all about the type of person. Right.
I think was fascinating.
Right.
How quickly he adapt to areas outside of his normal realm, right? Because once he latch on and he got the rudiments,
Right.
he would latch on to it like a bone,
Right.
and he wouldn't let go. And that was the nature of the man, He would never ever say die, even in adversity, as I said. This year we were on the verge of not being able to host the tournament.
Right.
We weren't getting the kind of sponsorship we used to get.
Right.
Coming out of COVID, it was a tough time. But he marshaled the troops in such a way, because he was the president of the association after Frank I died.
Right.
Frank I was he was always the president, and he took the bull by the horn and he said, Ram, you have to help me out with this, you have to write some letters to sponsors and blah, blah, blah. Or we had this tournament at all costs. Because, like I say, most sports, right, if you don't have an influx of young people, right, to keep it alive, it's going to die.
Right.
It's literally going to die. And I tell you, for a sport where you have 220 million people play it, and the average age of the persons who play 61 suggests to you that you're not getting the
influx of young people.
I mean, the current world champion is a Dane. He's 25, right? And they say when he get a bridge hand, literally in seconds, he done map out the sequence of play, everything. And he's 25, start playing 89. So yeah, in terms of bridge,
we have to do something about that here.
But for somebody at 25 and have that kind of skill.
Let me say something here. And you just said something when he's 90, because Bixby started playing pool when he's 9. Right, and and having traveled and did a couple of courses in coaching, I recognized that what we had in overs was raw talent.
Right.
And I could imagine if Big Brother was in an environment where he had coaching at 9, right? Because he had all the attributes, right? He was short, so maybe not the physical, but in terms of his mental approach and his toughness, he never did that, his nerves.
Right.
You know, he loved the challenge, right? And I recognize that is what was missing, that we did not have that environment. Because you remember Bertram? There's a guy by the name of Bertram. Since I stopped, Bertram was a guy who played pool. That when we were playing, no, not Bertram Jacobs. No, there's a young man by the name of Bertram who used to play pool with Big Brother. And whenever the cue ball scratched, all of us would put and try to play a little cut shot, because straight shot would give us trouble. And that straight shot is indicative of your alignment and your cue action, your straightness. No, that is Bertram. Invariably, yeah.
He played golf from so
You play golf now?
He used to play golf, barefoot man.
But
Freetown originally.
but he was.
Gambling shop and stuff.
Not Paget. Not Paget. No.
Okay.
There's a young guy by the name of Bertram. I wrote about him, but I don't remember his name, because after I recognized, I learned, what to look for. I recognized he had it. Whereas he had the mechanical attributes, Big Brother had the mental and everything, right? And I could see at the time, Gary and all, he was exceptional. And they say, only if, right? One time,
always positive.
Arguably, that's what we had. You had oversized achievers, pool playing, right? Yeah, oh my God, exceptional. And his big thing who teach him to, you know.
Yeah.
They used to play, they used to compete, right? And so,
I want to throw something. Okay, say the name Bill. But Bill didn't come from his school in this. Okay,
No,
that's famous school name.
No,
Bill figures that.
I don't know the origin of Plantax, you know, but it's stick.
Okay, but you used to school so.
Well, I started the first test match in 81, right? And then Bill came after.
Bill school test match, you know that? Okay. Bill school test match.
After I became embedded in the Cricket Association and so on. He and Alexander Ferenc.
Yeah.
Ferenc, right. Ferenc, we first formed with us in 1960.
Yeah, Bill school test matches too.
After I stopped scoring, that's why.
I say call Bill figured out, but Bill figured out.
Well, the Bill Fringle.
Bill
But you
Fringle.
know, the interesting thing about scoring in those days, right? And we learned that later in listening to the broadcast. Bill Fringle focused on the statistics side of the game. So he give the ball by ball, century, blah, blah, blah. When I scored, I did both. And everybody that came after, that's what they did. Ball by ball, as well as the statistics.
Right.
And in a way, we were way ahead of what they were doing in England and so on. Because they had, as I said, Bill Fringle was there with the statistical part. And you had the ball by ball scorers just scoring separately. We did both, so I would have to come up with centuries, passes, century or balls, all of that, in addition to the ball by ball. And then Bill adopted that when he scored and so on, and everybody else after that. It's only in recent times they probably have, the demarcation between actually scoring the ball by ball and providing statistics that they really do it.
Everybody scored one test match, you have all the details, tiny pass one go in, what ball, the bat. And I tell you what, you want to remind us, and those journalists who Australia about, they want all the stats every minute,
Right.
It's going to set this up to overseas, they want some paper ready for them. But look,
we always punch above our weight, way above our weight.
We're going to finish up now, we're going to give all the guys a parting shot now.
Right.
Parting shot with Bigsby.
Yeah, man, Bigsby, man. The guy, when I look back now, I see the intelligence and determination, As a youth, sometimes you're not even really looking at those things. Now, in retrospect, when you look back here, I realize how great he was, man. And every day I think about him now, man. Wish he was here so we could still play football, cricket, tennis, because we ended up playing tennis also, Always competitive. Gonna really miss him, man.
Yeah, well, as I said, we're 15 months apart, so we grew up close, and our dad instilled that we had a very close relationship. So if he was going to allow us to go, if I wanted to go next week, or we wanted to go next week, we'd have to make arrangements this week. Make sure you clean the old man car down, wash all his shoes, clean up everything.
Nice up.
Next week Friday morning, we just say, y'all not going anywhere. He said so once. I mean, if I look at my own children, there's always pushing the envelope. Daddy, please, and that kind of stuff. When I go, no was no. Right? And once the old man said no, that was it. But as I said, 64 years is the time that he was on this earthly life. I think chronicling the whole journey from the time he entered foundation mix, onto grammar school, going on to sixth form, being a critical part of our top of the form team, And that's on the academic side. I think, without being boastful, even though he used to remind me, boastness don't cost nothing. You know, we probably had one of the finest couple form teams ever in this country. I mean, there's an old lady that's still around. Every time the lady sees me, she says, you name I run for? You were the boy that was captain from the school team? They good. And obviously, my brother from another mother, he's six months my senior, and we had a pleasant competitive rivalry in school. When I was the first, he was second. When I was second, he was first, and so on. We went to university at the same time. And that's one of the things about, I think, close friendships. You may not see each other for a long time, but the moment you see each other, it's as if no time had elapsed.
Right.
I remind the friendships that I see my children have online. So if I say to my daughter, who's your best friend? She may say somebody, and if I start to ask questions about the person, she knows nothing. When I went to Kayville in '75, so it's almost 50 years since Kayville.
Wow, half a century.
And you remember this fellow Joe Bryan, a Jamaican?
Yes.
And he came here for a reparations conference. I had not seen him in 36 years. And it was just as if no time
Yes,
had
just reconnect.
So, you know, the friendships, those friendships that I think people within our age would have forged, they are lasting friendships because they don't know no boundaries of time, right? My brother was a fantastic mind on all fronts. Great adaptability to everything, fearless. Sir George mentioned it. Very, very confident, and he was a very diminutive fellow, you know, and that in no way or shape or form, you know, militated against his overall confidence and the supreme belief in himself. And I mentioned earlier in the program, Viv Richards, and we have to call Viv Richards because he's arguably the greatest person to have emerged out of the Ovals community. And it's not by accident he's as good as he is, because he was challenged by guys with 1/10 of his ability, and he showed what is possible if you have this ultimate belief in yourself. And clearly his prowess on the world stage is what really has positioned this country to where it's viewed in terms of sports. And in terms of the contribution he has made to cricket globally. That's just my parting shot. I've been holding up so far. I haven't seen a tear yet. I was preparing myself a long time, but I'm in the throes of preparing the eulogy, as I said, and I would have done a lot of little anecdotal snippets and references of the life and times of Devon Bertram Ford, Biggs, Big Brother, Bixby, a host of names.
The bigger brother.
Yes, so that's my parting shot.
Yeah.
Those of you, the funeral is next Friday at midday at the Spring Gardens Moravian Church. And I'm inviting all of his friends and everybody else who really would have shared a well-spent life. It's unfortunate that in his latter years he became very ill. And I suppose the big man upstairs knows when it's time. And really, it exemplifies the point that we really have to just live the now, because you're not really guaranteed even a nanosecond into tomorrow. So just live now, share the pleasant friendships, fellowship with everybody who you have come into contact with, because as I say, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Your apology,
Sure. Yeah, as I said, when I heard of his passing, I was saddened, very much so, up to this day. I reflect on Biggs, and reflecting on Biggs reminds me of Ovals, the environment that produced somebody like Big Brother, who is so talented and the bond we had mingling with younger and older guys mingling, and I think this was very influential on the development of Biggs. And so to somehow, the baton was part, the baton of information, whether it's cricket or football, because we're always mingling and talking and competing. And I think Biggs will remain with me forever because, as I said, he had shown me a pool table, and he's 5 years younger than I am, and it's a game that I love so much. It's a game that, following up on what Hiram said, I'm committed to trying to pass on the game to the next generation. Knowing fully well how in my case it was going the reverse. It was a younger man 5 years showing the game, right? And also I had a wonderful time with Biggs playing dominoes. We're excellent domino partners, He was so intelligent. He loves to teach. He loves to learn. He loves the competition. He has a big heart. Never say die. I mean, I see him playing football and trying to put dummy and so on, the older guys, So I remember Biggs as somebody with whom I grew up and influenced me to become arguably, one of the better pool players in Antigua.
I don't know party shot,
Yeah.
I personally don't know party shot. Biggs is a special guy to me. Biggs was my special friend. Like I say, I was much older than him. But, like I say, he think he's the biggest guy anything. He older than you. That's a big one for you, what I mean? So, like I said, look, when I heard he died, I said, you sure you hear good? I heard here, right? That sounds like big brother to me. So, I took the opportunity and called Tuku, his friend, Tuku, of course. Tuku was here by him just August, So I said, hey, blokes, boy, you big brother dead, man? Say, which big brother? I say, oh, which big brother, Yeah, he can't say big brother get died like me, because we just can't understand it. Because big brother is so full of life. He like, he's sick. You wouldn't even know big brother sick. He had the most mouth, the most chat. By him there, that was he. He and me and Vivi and took with it, kind of grinded all over his days. You know what I mean? Just the other day. So they heard someone say, boy, this scared me. So I went to look for Margo the other day. I said, Margo, I was so afraid to come with you. Because I'm afraid to call you. Seriously, at the break, we're so close. So that's what the last part of the shot,
I just want to say to Hiram and the family, on behalf of ACB Patrick, to accept our sincere condolences. Let's be strong under a difficult time. And I just hope that, as I said, Big Brothers are into mind sports. I hope the bridge game doesn't die, they live on, and they do something in honor of Big Brother. Because definitely he will not want to see that game go down the drain.
I've made a pact with myself in terms of going in that direction. I'm currently at the UV 5 Islands. I'm going to be retiring at the end of July next year. Whilst I probably will be involved in some way, even in an adjunct capacity.
Right.
I'm certainly committed towards popularizing bridge in schools. I think that's where we have to start.
Right.
The French do it very well, right? They have players that start very early. The Scandinavian countries, as I said, the top bridge player in the world is a guy from Denmark, 25, and competes hands playing hands, no matter the level of difficulty in seconds. So I'm kind of committed to that. As I said, bridge is a wonderful game. Just to perpetuate his memory,
right,
given his obsession for the game. And I suppose I have a commitment because I actually taught him the game, even though he's more of a fanatical player than I am.
Right.
As I said, he was my last bridge partner.
Right.
We had tiffs all the time, I mean, siblings and so on. He considered himself an expert, tells himself he was the best player in the Caribbean. And Sir Charles exemplified that.
Right.
Right. I mean, even though he would know that somebody else, he never admitted.
Right.
And it's just like the strength and the mindset in playing a hand. Even though you look at that, because as a bridge player, right, and he constantly would remind me of this. Look at you when from the time they take up your hand, look at your losers.
Right.
A loser is a loser is a loser.
Right.
So you can't turn a loser into a winner.
Right.
So if you can't turn it, it's like, 3 aces out against you.
Right.
And you're playing a contract of 5 of something, so you have to make 11 tricks. But if you're going to lose 3 tricks, your contract is going to go out. But you say you don't give up. You play like if you're going to, and this is about confidence too,
Right.
because you can hoodwink people, right? You can give people the impression you're not armed with a
Right.
and then you are armed with the card, and then the
surprise them.
final card comes,
Surprise
and
them.
they say it's an ace or something.
Yeah.
That's I mean, he had that willpower, and one of the things he said, listen, if the contract is 4 hearts, you got to be in 4 hearts.
Right.
Whether you're going down or not. Right? And he was big in heart, big in heart for, I mean, I can't help but, he'd shoot up.
Right.
Then Tuka used to grind him and say that he sees belly before he actually sees it. but I'm going to miss him.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to miss him tremendously. I mean, we would cuss every day.
Right.
He would say, "You're not going to play with me anymore." I would tell him the same thing. Then 2 hours after he called, "We playing tonight?" That was the kind of character he was, So you want to kill me with all them bad play? Yeah, but Biggs was Biggs. As I said, I mean, summing up, we just have to say a very talented individual in a number of areas, very passionate about the things he believed in. He was really fearless.
Right.
And, people used to say that like a bossy boy for 4 years. He was supremely confident, very assertive, and a fine talent and fine mind. That's how I'd like to remember him.
Good stuff. Well, guys, thanks for being Sports Mandela. Have a good weekend.